Such headlines are common nowadays. We've all seen it happen. A brilliant engineer falls for a financial scam. A straight A student makes a terrible life choice. A genius CEO runs their company into the ground. And we think, how could someone so smart do something so stupid? Well, being intelligent doesn't stop you from being an idiot. I'm going to teach you why questioning your own thinking will bring you much more success than having a higher IQ. Pay attention for the next few minutes. The IQ myth. Let me draw your attention to one particular society, the Mensa Society, which is basically a bunch of smart people around the world. It brings together the smartest 2% of the people. You'll be shocked, even with their big brains and smartness, a survey showed that they too are not immune to some questionable beliefs, especially when there is zero scientific evidence. See, I'm not here to judge anyone's beliefs. This is for you astrologers or that other group that still believe aliens have been visiting Earth, but something ain't right. Or look at George W. Bush. I know, controversial guy. Some of you love him, some hate him, but the guy had an IQ estimated above 120. That puts him in the top 10% of the population. But even people in his own party described him as not very analytical. So you end up asking yourself, what's going on here? If you didn't know, intelligence and rationality are not the same thing. Think of it like this. Your IQ is like the horsepower in a car engine. It measures raw power, how fast you can process information, solve puzzles, remember things. But rationality? That's the steering wheel. It's what determines where you actually drive that powerful engine. You can have a Ferrari engine, but if you're steering toward a cliff, all that horsepower just gets you instant disaster delivery. The two systems. To understand why smart people do dumb things, we need to talk about how your brain actually works. Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman figured out that we basically have two different minds operating in our heads. Let's call them System 1 and System 2. System 1 is basically autopilot, fast, automatic, runs on gut feelings. You might have realized you never think when brushing your teeth or instantly judge if someone seems friendly or dangerous. System 2 is your analytical mind. It's slow, deliberate, and requires actual effort. This is what you use for difficult math problems or planning a complicated project. Basically, it's the engine that runs everything. But your brain has a problem. System 2 is exhausting. It ravages through mental energy like crazy. So your brain, being lazy and efficient, tries to use System 1 for everything. 80 to 90% of your daily thinking is done on autopilot by System 1. This happens to everyone, regardless of their IQ. A person with a genius IQ still has the same lazy brain as everyone else. They may have a more powerful System 2, sure, but if they never actually use it, it doesn't matter. It's like owning a Hellcat and only driving it to the grocery store. Insane power under the hood, zero commitment to actually using it. Scientists call this being a cognitive miser. Even highly intelligent people often just don't bother thinking analytically. Instead, they're like, I'll just trust my gut on this one. The real difference. You're asking yourself, if IQ doesn't predict good decisions, what does? Well, thinking dispositions, basically your attitude and habits you have developed towards the process of thinking. Rational people have different mental habits. They gather information before making decisions. They actively seek out different viewpoints. They think about long-term consequences. They question their own gut reactions. Researchers did a study in Pittsburgh with 360 people of all intelligence levels. They found that people with strong rational thinking skills, regardless of IQ, had significantly fewer negative life events. We're talking about less credit card debt, fewer unplanned pregnancies, fewer school or work suspensions, better financial decisions overall. The people who did worst? often the high IQ folks who relied on their gut feelings and never questioned themselves. Quick explanation. Smart people often have more confidence in their wrong ideas. They're just better at justifying their bad decisions. It's like a searchlight. IQ is how bright the bulb is, but rationality decides where you aim it. A blinding beam pointed at a wall just makes the wall brighter, while a weaker light aimed down the road actually shows you where to go. How to fix it. The good thing is you do not need to be a genius to develop good thinking habits. You only need to like and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead, yes, you do it. So how do we change you from autopilot to a more rational thinker? Habit number 1, question your gut. When you're absolutely sure about something, take a breath and ask yourself, okay, what would have to happen for me to admit I might be wrong? This is called actively seeking disconfirming evidence, and it's the opposite of what most people do. Most of us just look for reasons we're right. Habit number 2, do a pre-mortem. Before you start any big project or make a major decision, do a quick mental time travel to the future where it has completely crashed and burned. Then ask, all right, what did we mess up? It sounds a little unhinged, but it works. It lets people bring up real concerns without feeling like the buzz killer, and it turns fuzzy worries into specific problems you can actually fix. Habit number 3, play devil's advocate. Deliberately argue against your own position or get someone else to do it. This forces you to actually test your ideas instead of just confirming them. It's uncomfortable, but it's the only reliable way to find the truth. Habit number 4, engage system 2 on important decisions. You can't run everything through your analytical brain or you'd burn out by Tuesday, but when it's an important decision, hit the brakes. Write out the pros and cons, sleep on it, get a few outside opinions. Your gut is great, but it shouldn't be the only one in the room when the stakes are high. Look, we all have cognitive biases. Our brains are basically on energy saving mode, constantly taking shortcuts, making snap judgments, and calling it intuition. You can't delete those glitches, but you can catch them in the moments they're most likely to screw you over. The smartest person in the room isn't the one with the highest IQ. It's the one who pauses and goes, hold on, what if I'm wrong? So here's my challenge to you. Think about one important decision you're dealing with right now, career, money, relationships, whatever. And instead of immediately trusting your gut like it's never betrayed you before, slow down and switch on your analytical brain. Ask yourself, what am I not seeing? What evidence would prove me wrong? What if this blows up? What will I wish I'd thought about sooner? Because in the end, intelligence isn't about how smart you are. It's about how smart you think. So if this shifted how you see intelligence, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos on thinking clearly, avoiding mental traps, and not letting your own brain quietly sabotage you. See you in the next one.